We're called the City of Vernon Workshop. What special move follows Monday, October 6th, meeting about 5:34. And see Casey Tutton.
Heavenly Father, thank you for allowing us to be here safely tonight. We ask that you would guide the council. We specifically ask that you help them to make decisions that are best for the city of Vernon and the community, Lord. Keep us all safe, guide and protect our schools and our teachers and our students, and help this land heal. In Jesus' name, amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
Mayor update, Mr. Gary.
Just got up here reminded, on March the 17th, at that meeting, we discussed about taking the payroll in-house and doing it. If y'all want to think about it, put it on the agenda for the next meeting and vote on it or talk about it. So we tabled and said we would pick it back up.
For next week, Mr.
That Candace is getting that payoff on the SRL loan for me. Discussing I only have it to the sewer department. Also, she's getting the payoff on the fire department's use of bars. Also, we got a meter order that'll tell us how much the 220 electricity is in the food pantry. You get that, I'll have a total cost on the next video. That's probably gonna be around 5 to 6 months. Generators have been ordered. Be waiting on them to get here. When they get here, they'll start installing them. They don't have a date yet on that. Wastewater treatment plant people will be here tomorrow on filters. As soon as that gets done, the engineer will get with Dale on what type system we have to have for that part of it, and Dale will start the engineering. That's going to take about 9 months to a year for that. Septic receiving meeting, got one here this Thursday in Chipley. He's meeting up there. Dale is talking about permits. So that done, then you got to go back. Things he has to go back to planning commission. You're not sure, but he'll find out this week. Hope to start construction that first of the year. That's about it.
Thank you, Mr. Gary. Number 2, the estimate to repair the generator at well 3.
There's 2 estimates in there for 2 different things. Jimmy sent them over. Here's the catch. It's only working well right now, and the generator doesn't work. So if we have a hurricane and we're in hurricane season, then
We'll be down.
we're down.
So or can we add this to this? We can't,
You can. Plus, the meeting was advertised to you after you does that.
We'll be nice to you, Jen Bowles. I'm sorry?
Yeah. So number 3, generators.
Yes.
Or generator.
Repair.
Is that number 4? Counterpart of the scheduled meeting, is it?
Oh, it'll be number 3 under special meeting.
Yeah, that is right. Okay, parking for the dive shop plant businesses.
The dive shop owner called over and said that when there's special events and things, they're really not parking. And for their business, there's also really not parking. In the donut shop, there's really not parking. All those things there. But that the state owns a lot of property where the retaining pond is. And they wanted to know if it would be possible, or if the city would be interested in talking to the state to see if we could get deeded some of that property that they're not using for the retaining pond to put in parking. And I told them I'll bring it to the council.
Well, did you ever find out whose truck that is?
That's theirs. It's the dive shop.
Yeah, okay.
But it's theirs. It's what
some of his divers, they don't use their own vehicles, so he has that there for them to take.
Okay.
If they're doing training or
Been there forever, and I was like,
they normally kept it on that one open lot just by the donut shop, but the people didn't want them parking on that anymore, so he moved it over there.
So they're asking us if the state will.
So there's a lot of empty land beside the retaining pond that the state bought. So when the state bought the property there from, Miss Ruby, it took all that. Well, they used the retaining pond, but now all the other property is just there. That's not inside that enclosed area. So he was wondering if it would be something that we could work out with the state so that there would be parking.
Like climbing up towards Church Street on that side.
Yeah, where the retaining pond is there. Behind there's their businesses. The retaining pond's there.
Oh, behind you, Bill.
So then that will make.
For events. I don't know if it's something the city is interested in,
Well, you call them, ask them to come down and meet with us, all you do.
but I just didn't want to reach out to the state without talking to y'all.
It's my man. We won't know if you something we can do or won't do it till we talk to them and they admit,
I have 2 more things to add to the workshop. I apologize, they shouldn't be on.
Go ahead.
Um,
Was it 4 or 5?
yeah. The Christmas bazaar, we have the last 2 years we've done it in the community center. It's time to plan it. So, are we still gonna have it and do it on the square or, was it, the gym could be back, if it was bad weather, or what do y'all wanna do?
I've already been asked about it. And
We've had a good turnout in the last 2 years.
you turned that good inside.
Yeah, but we can't use the community center.
Well, when we had it on the square, it did good, very good.
So I was saying it's a
Desire
square,
stop.
because everybody sees it, they see the tents up.
Where people stopped that didn't live there.
Yeah, when it's on the square,
It's more visible.
it's visible.
And it was before and after the parade, right?
Yes, sir.
And it's on the second.
Second Saturday of December every year.
For days, yes.
And what time is that parade? 51?
Oh, we've been doing it at 1
It's the 13th.
Is it 13?
and 10 to 2. That way, have a parade and the kids can come see Santa, and then it's a wrap.
And where do you want to do Santa?
Could Santa be at the square as well?
We had him at
We've done it.
five.
We've had them there several times, yes.
Who used to do them in the
Yeah, that's where they had
Yeah.
it before.
So right there in the square.
So the Christmas bazaar will be from 10 to 2.
Yes, ma'am. If that's acceptable.
Is there power in the gazebo?
There's power on the square, so we could.
I just wouldn't want to run an extension cord very far with all those people, but if we could get lights in the gazebo, that would help the photography.
Well, it is one of some club right there by that site.
I'll check it out.
Yeah.
I think so.
And then the 5th thing is the county had dropped this off this afternoon, a contract for Mr. Gary to sign, but Michelle needs to approve it. I don't know if they sent you the final copy. Load the book.
I'll look at it now if you want.
Yeah. And if it needed to, I just forget. And if it needed to be voted on, then you can put it under the tennis court.
Oh, your tennis court.
Then drop it off to Nikki Troy. And it was Troy.
The last time I talked to Matt, there was still a question about the parcels. Gosh, take them now. Matt couldn't tell Drika just as the right land based on the excursions.
Do you know that?
When does it need sold? Oh, well, what is doing this kind?
The contractor's waiting to start, I think, but the county wants.
Okay, the language is fine. There was supposed to be an additional attachment because there's a question from the school board's lawyers about
the actual land that the trustees are going to occupy, whether it's all school board land or some of the city's land, which is why we're doing this. Still isn't clear on exactly where the
Boundary. So we need that map.
And the problem is that the legal descriptions on the, when we go back to these deeds that Gerald Holly, there's just like old school copy and paste legal descriptions from plat descriptions that delved out to Schwitz. All right. 2 years? Yeah.
So we either way that.
I mean, they wanted this approved because they want it in place before they get the money from the state so that there's no questions for each state asking why they gave money to the school board to improve land that the school board didn't have any interest. So they need to lease it for. I just want to put it down as number 4 and just predict contingent on final legal. And I'll let that look in.
And that was all I had. So that'll go to number 4, Becky.
Yes. Is that all, Kins?
Mhm.
If nobody else has anything, I'll ask to adjourn. A motion to adjourn. Or someone?
What about the Thanksgiving Day with line? I don't know where to put that because the
Fire talk.
I thought we already just.
but I mean as other than that, that's only an option.
Yeah, I thought we agreed. We agreed.
Yeah,
On that, have you talked to Lon?
I'm Hannah.
I talked to Lloyd.
Has he said he's fine with that?
Said he can set up anyway. That's what he told me. So I don't know, but I'll call him again tomorrow. But he said it was no problem. It was set up because he has that. You know, he goes to all those.
Well, he has his food trucks.
Guess what? Where he goes to all those fairs and stuff, and he sets them out there. So
Hey, we talk about letting me support working and having that the kitchen and the bath.
Yeah, and everything.
Okay.
Becky, I did have the Heritage Festival Committee met last week. They because the county TVC is still helping with organizing it for this next year, and it's set for April 10th and 11th. So the Shady Grove portion would be April 10th. That night it would be pretty much like last year, only I'm sure there'll be some, new activities, because that was very successful. And then on the 11th, we still want to do 3 locations, but we're talking about having, because the boat didn't show up last year, and the creek isn't what Vernon was built around, for trade, and it's a city function now. I was thinking about, kayak racing, that a lot of people would probably show up for that, if we could have that event down there. And then here, the museum would be open, and I'll have talked to Nicole about bringing the petting zoo here, because that'll bring kids here, and then they can, while they're here, they can see the museum and learn about the history, because kids aren't going to want to come just to see the museum, but they're going to want to come to see the animals. And so what we thought about doing was just giving a little ticket to all the schools that said, come out on Saturday at whatever time and get a free cup of feed to feed the animals, because you know how everybody likes something free and a ticket, and then they can say, "Mama, please take me." So that's what we're looking at right now. Is that sounding okay?
Sounds very neat.
Okay, well, we'll press on them.
If anybody else have anything to say, I ask for a motion to adjourn. Can I have a motion to adjourn the workshop?
I need some motion to adjourn.
Second? Your discussion? You in favor? Workshop was adjourned and the special meeting is open. Number 1, the fire department.
You wanna start?
It doesn't matter. I can.
Go on, you go, but
We, there was Mr. Massey requested a meeting with the mayor about the fire department, and I attended, and it's a fair part of the times. Mr. Massey came, the fire chief coordinator, Justin Barrow, and County Commissioner David Pettis. We met in the mayor's office, and they had concerns about the fire department being staffed, and they're working on their budget. And they had some questions about our mutual aid. They had some issues with that. They reported that our Vernon Fire Department is not responding to a lot of calls. They told Gary and I that the fire chief and some members of the fire department were calling off mutual aid before anybody got to the scene, which really upset me.
Right.
First of all, I wondered why, if our funding was involved, why we had to reach out to do earlier. And then they explained that they just wanted to see how they could help. Based on what they told me, and Mr. Barry said the same thing, I told them that unless an emergency responder was on the scene, that if they were called out mutual aid, that they should continue to roll.
Right. So usually, from any time, was it in Vernon?
It was.
Okay. So usually we have a mutual aid agreement with Chipley. They usually bring 4 to 5 guys a minute. So usually, I know there's, I think it's Chief 10, I believe.
but the county has showed up twice. They've been mighty in here.
Right.
Sunny Hill, they'll show up.
Yeah, I understand. Well, and
It doesn't hurt for anybody to come.
no, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, we got a mutual agreement with Chipley. They usually bring 4 to 5 guys on the scene. Like, I know they say they're on scene, but most of the time they're just in a cheap truck. They don't have any water or nothing like that. You know what I mean? I understand, but that's just so you know the logic of it.
Yes, sir.
Shipley was already rolling to us at that time, and I think that was, I don't know if that was recent or.
I'm not sure either. They just said it had happened on multiple occasions,
Mm.
and like I said, the information that was presented to me it really upset me. And I told them, to roll, and if anybody had an issue with it, I was going to bring it to full council
Yeah.
because mutual aid is important. Now, I will say that I have spoken to Shaq since then, and I discussed the meeting with him, and he explained some things to me, and he said that you'd be here to not do that, and just talking about that. I point blank put it to him like it was put to us in the meeting that it was stated by him that he did not want anybody but Chipley inside the city limits of Vernon on mutual aid. That was what was told to us by the 3 gentlemen that we met with.
Yeah.
Again, really upset me. It looked like well, I'm not going to say what, but it was an adult competition. I'll just say that. Definitely. And I expressed that in the meeting. And I said again that they needed to roll if nobody was on scene because that's the way that it was explained to us. Nobody was there and they were being called on. And so I did speak to Shaq today. And Shaq explained to me that that was not the case, that what he was trying to do by calling off certain mutual aids was he was trying to keep everybody from showing up to one scene and not leaving their areas.
Right, and whatever.
So explain that to him, and that I understand. And I told him at the time, the information that was given to us, what I said, and I stand by that. In my opinion, I understand you not want everybody to show up and waste the gas and their side of the county not be covered. That's not what mutual aid's about. It's the closest ones to you that come.
Yeah.
I let that. So I felt better about that. He did say that he was going to try to look at some grants to see about get some more fire and pay. I told him that the county basically was just offering, because I asked would they want to take over fire department. Like, they took over Walsall, which that was a mutual thing. I'm not saying they land grabbed or anything like that, but they just, you know the situation. I'm sure you a little bit went on in Walsall. And they said that basically what they wanted to do was just make sure that Vernon had the coverage that they needed. and they were willing to help.
Yeah.
I told them that we'd call a special meeting and that we could bring it to council. They said for y'all to, if y'all want them to come to a meeting, see if they can, you know, work something out so that we can make sure that Vernon has the coverage that it needs. Then they'd be willing to come and talk to us. They said that they were not, that they would if that's something that Vernon wanted to do, but basically all they wanted was for us to know that there was a situation where we know that we don't have most of our volunteers working. Is
Right,
that-
and that's what I was about to bring up.
Yeah.
Most of our department is young guys. I'm 27. I got a full-time job. I work 60 plus hours a week. I can't be there all the time. You know, I get home like I got off early to come here, so most of the time I'm still working. Now, I understand like we have to do away with the paid guys during the week. I get it. It sucks, but that's why we're seeing not a lot of call volumes being answered because we're all at work.
Well, and it is my understanding too that a lot of the ones that we did have that were paid that we were during the day they're not as many anymore, and so that's an issue too. Even before the funds ran out of it. So
Yeah, because the funds just stopped.
yeah,
This
last week. Okay, September.
So they didn't have people volunteering for it.
Okay. So that had fell off this. Well, my understanding that the numbers were originally when we brought it in, the shack brought it in,
Yeah.
and we used all of our money to pay for them. It had fell away before the fund ran out.
Right.
So
Now I could do it like on some weekends if that was opened up. Like, and I know a lot of guys that are on the actual volunteer side, like with Vernon, not, you know, I mean, I'm thankful for those guys, you know, that do it full time, but a lot of the volunteer guys you would be able to do it, stay at the station all weekend, yeah, or not all weekend, but like Saturday or Sunday or, you know, from whatever the hours were, just would have to be that scheduled out.
But the funds they stopped at the end of the budget year
Yeah.
for that.
See,
Yeah.
one thing I think will help that if we do have me runs, you'll make for every meeting. I understand can't everybody be here, but you can have one. But if you can't, feed us all the information you can. How many cars, how many runs, what? That's all we're asking.
Yeah.
That will help tremendously.
I'm sorry.
It's hard to go up there and ask somebody for money when you don't know. They ask me how many runs they go, I don't.
Yeah, I can get Shaq to send y'all the run reports and stuff what we even run.
And how many active do we have?
There's 20 on the roster, but are you talking about how many people show up, or
That's what we're talking about. And that's what meets the room.
Probably about 6. Me included. But then again, my dad was with Ebro for a long time. It's volunteer too.
Right.
Like unfortunately I can't drop everything.
Right.
If I'm, and that's a lot of the other guys. They got families and stuff. I'm not trying to make an excuse, but that's just how it is.
We understand all that. Everybody understands that.
and me nor anybody else on here is against fire report. Was y'all, I'll tell you, just like I told Shaq, I was rattled by the information that was given to me. I feel a little bit better since I talked to Shaq and explained some things. Like I said, we just wanted to bring this before the council, let the council know what was going on, what was talked about in the meeting, and the county is willing to come in one of our meetings. They said that they would set that and where we could talk about, ways that we could better the fire department and help get it where it needs to be. The other thing that they said, we talked about the truck, the $12,000 that we haven't approved. They did let us know that the next quarter that comes out, that money, we could use that to fix the truck, and have money left over. So, overall, like I said, it was a good meeting. I wish that it would have happened sooner, but it happened, and either way, so I think maybe from my understanding, I think everybody's pretty much on the same page now. Like I said, Shaq, I talked to him today. He said they had already spoken with was Massey and fire coordinator. They seemed to have everything worked out.
Yeah.
we can get Candace to let them know when our next meetings are and see if they want if they'll come up. They said they were, and everybody put our heads together and see what we can do
Yeah.
to help out the fire.
I don't know all the politics of it or nothing like that. Or just, whatever y'all agree on with Shaq, one thing I have to say about Shaq, like, since I've been on there, which I don't know how many years I've been there, but, like, he's done a lot for the department and anything.
Absolutely. And
He's got it up and running, and, I know, like, it's more cost now, seems like, I guess, but that's just to have a running department, it costs.
we understand we're dealing with it now.
Right, yeah. Yeah, it's just,
But anyway, that's what happened. I think I pretty much covered everything in the meeting.
Don't get me wrong, we're not browbeating it on.
No.
yeah.
I would encourage y'all to look at what, as many of y'all could meet when they come, the county coordinator come, as many as y'all could be here.
Right.
That way, if you got questions, you put them directly to me.
Right.
I think that's a good idea, and we'll schedule it out so everybody will know, and it's good to have an opportunity to come. But it'll be at one of our regular meetings. If we can't meet all together any other way without it. So Mayor and I can meet. The mayor, any one of the council members can meet with anybody, but your council members and the mayor can't. You have a discussion.
So what would that look like if they did take over, just like how Bossall does?
Well, I don't know because we don't get that far.
Right.
I asked because it hadn't been mentioned, and it all kind of seemed up to me. They said it was because they were looking at their budget and the numbers weren't adding up, and they provide quite a sum of money to the fire departments.
One thing it takes,
in one of them.
it said it would take away this, all paperwork needs, you have no paperwork anymore, secretariat, boss all will do it. So you're a paid county employee now.
Yeah.
Something's tore up, they'll have a bigger fund than we do.
Right.
Once we get our money, that's all the money we get on it.
Yeah.
They will have a little bit better pool. But that's totally entirely up to y'all, where I look at it.
There's still volunteers and a chief and a volunteer fire department.
Right. Yeah.
They're just, somebody's always there and they're flipping the bill.
Yeah, my concern, I just didn't want to kick our guys out. It's been 6+ years, and just like thanks. Yeah, seems like
That ain't gonna happen.
okay.
From a budget standpoint, the majority of our budget for this year for the fire department's coming from the county. And what they were basically saying is, and everyone's a volunteer and they are at work, just like you said.
Yeah.
So we're not here during the week to run calls, and they're basically saying we're not running calls, so we're not going to budget. We're not going to put you in the budget because you're not running calls, so we're not going to flip the bill. And we can't make people quit jobs to be a volunteer that they don't get paid. You know that. So that's the problem. It's just, if they cut our budget out, we got nothing.
Yeah,
You know
no,
what?
I've always said this: if our department ever became like a full-time deal, like, I would love to work at Vernon. It's a full-time. I still got my fire too. I still got all my certs. As long as, well, that's a whole nother discussion. But if everything worked out where I can still pay my bills, that would be awesome. But
Well,
I'm not opposed to any help or nothing like that. I don't think any of the other guys are. But that's up to, I don't know exactly what they want to do or Shaq thinks about everything. So, like I said, I'm not in the politics, so really.
And our problem with the grant, if you get a safer grant to have paid firefighters there, then at the end of that grant term, you have to provide for X amount of years paid firemen. And the city's not in a financial state to, in 2 years or 4 years, provide paid firemen, because at that point then they're not a 1099, they're a W-2 employee with benefits and retirement and everything. So that really hurts as far as being able to get a safer grant and get an employee, because you got to pay that for the same amount of years that they did it for. You got to do it at the end of it.
Yeah.
So it's catch-22. Oh, it's great, but is it? Then what are you going to do at the end of that term?
Well, you also gotta consider like, I mean, someone being at the station all the time, it's like it's gonna cut down on run times. You're gonna so
Absolutely.
it was I don't know how long it was, but I was supposed to be here for a city council meeting, and that trailer park over there, one of the trailers caught fire. I was there within like 6 minutes. That whole park could have, caught, and like we made a good stop on it. It was
Yep.
me and a few other guys, but it's run times. That's all because it takes me traveling safely about 10 minutes to get to just the station. Right now I gotta get my gear, crank up the truck, make sure the brakes are good. So you're looking at probably 15, 20 minutes on if there's no traffic. So I'm not gonna cut people off in traffic coming here.
Well, as of the meeting, they were not planning on cutting our funding.
Hmm.
So, and they weren't saying, "Oh, we're about to pull your funding and we want you to hand over your firewall."
Right.
It wasn't a meeting like that. They basically were just letting us know what was going on from their perspective of things, what was going on, and said that they would come meet with all the council members and see what we could work out. So that's where we're at, right? So does anybody else have anything on that? Okay, well, I guess Candace said, y'all are free to come out to one of our meetings, talk. Candace, if you set that up, and then when they agree to it, and we notify all fire buyers and the fire chief and everybody. Okay. Okay. There's nothing else on that. We're gonna move on to number 2, time cards.
Appreciate y'all.
Thank you, Luke.
There's no, it is what it is. I'm just gonna say that there. Everybody has packets of 2 dates on the outside workers time clock and time cards. Times the 3 outside employees. On August 20th, I went to the sewer plant. All the vehicles was there, the gate was open, the door was unlocked, and nobody was there. On August 20th at 4:21 p.m., I took a picture of the time clock. I took a picture of the time cards that were next to it, and it doesn't add up. There was 3 employees that were already clocked out for 5 o'clock that afternoon, and it was 4:21 on the clock. Now, I don't know anything about these time clocks other than the time clocks I use. You just stick your thing in there and do it. But obviously, this time clock has been tampered with. On August 21st at 12:46 p.m., same thing. It's a different day. 2 of the 3 employees were already clocked out at 5 o'clock. I reached out to Garrett, and it took some time to get what was sent in to him, our CPA, for what was actually the time cards that were sent in to him and that he paid out. I contacted the attorney, reported it to her, and asked her how it needed to be handled. He told me to, when I got the information, to send it to her and copy Mr. Gary, the mayor, then we would go from there. Mr. Gary requested a meeting with Michelle. We had a meeting with her, she looked at the documents, we talked about it. At that time, Mr. Gary asked if we could meet with Jason. She instructed us when we met with Jason to simply put the information in front of him and get an explanation. We did that. Basically, we did not get an explanation.
There is no explanation. It's just wrong.
And the only thing that was said about it was that the public works director said that that we could take the hours back, which we can't do, and that it was his responsibility. There's couple of issues within these same documents. The time cards that were used that I took pictures of in one instance, on the other employee, was that the time card that I took a picture of did not even match the numbered time card that actually went in together. So the time clock and the time cards are being tampered with. Each employee is supposed to, we all know this, stamp their own time clocks. So it is what it is. There's no denying what this looks like, because it's, I mean, so I did, and Mr. Gary told Jason to consider, him giving him a verbal warning. I don't know if that's something they either do or not, but I didn't say anything. We let him explain himself. It really didn't get an explanation, just, my bad. You can take the time back. And I'll let you know that this would have to go before council, and that it would be before chemist. And he said, yes, ma'am. So, there it is. It's not pretty, and I really, really hate that I found this, but
Don't hate that.
I couldn't go, what, no, I'm just laying.
You hate it happen.
I really do hate that it happened, and the reason that I went to do this is because I was tired of the rumors that I was hearing on the street. I don't deal in rumors. Y'all all know that and know why. So I had to see for myself before I said anything, and that's what I found. And the attorney was notified immediately and I didn't even have all the information back from Garrett that I had already let her know what's going on before I got the rest of this. It did take some time to get it back from the CPA because I'd asked him for specific dates in the month, and he sent me some, but I had to go back and get more. So I waited until I got what was actually turned into him and paid out for, which is the last page on y'all sheets for those 2 days. And I did not go back down there because I really didn't want to see any more of it. And I was so that I was buying more. But there it is. I don't know what council's do that at first.
That's a crime, you need that council. It is a crime.
It definitely appears to be theft.
That's what I say, yeah. And on any job that I know of also, that is, to do that is immediate terminated.
That's what your policy
Or states,
calls for.
anytime to do out there. I hate to say that, but it is.
And y'all realize that this looks like that 2 of our 3 employees are involved in this, because nobody's supposed to be doing anybody else's time cards. So I mean,
Well, even so, you're not supposed to even, if I came in and you came in, I'm not for, even if they came in at the same time, you told me to go ahead and do your time for it. I'm not supposed to do it. And a lot of time, no, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
And a lot of times we might do that. But I'm saying you're not supposed to touch that time card. Everybody's supposed to do their own.
well, the time clock doesn't match up with the time cards. The time cards don't match up with what was taken pictures of and then what wound up going to the CTA. In one aspect of the paperwork, there's even the ones that I took pictures of aren't the same times that went into the CPA. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that the CPA has called a couple of things himself that was funny to him when he was looking at it. I believe he said something to Candace about it.
Idiot.
See, also, it appears to have falsification of records for the other employee. I mean, well, I'm having some adults stand here time card.
And I don't
That's
know,
also a hurtful offense.
I don't know why they weren't here, because we get notified Jason that this be brought full count.
Jason he's at the
He's a doctor's.
VA and that's the bag.
You know, I was assuming that he told, because the boys, I know that
You was asked to tell them.
Yeah.
But I'll go ahead and lay the bad thing out there. Nobody wants to hear it. I don't like saying it. If we get rid of them, green on this, we don't have nobody to do it right now.
Yeah, but you can't let that oversperry. No, you can't. Certainly, everyone just can't. Now, I know we were being a type. We need to go take something, but
You're gonna be a mercenary type.
yeah. I mean,
But this
that is a crime. Like I
the
said,
council votes on it.
music on.
But if something's going to be done, it has to be voted on. First of all, and Michelle has reviewed all of this, and y'all heard what she said.
Did you?
We're not getting the work done anyway because they're not there.
No. So we're losing that.
We're
all the way around.
We're paying out money
That's
that's not, and nothing's getting done. So, I mean, I don't want to see anybody lose their job either, but we do have a personnel policy, and this, it's plain and simple what's wrong here. All the vehicles were at safety. I went down there. Except the one employee that was working and had that truck, and I saw him on that truck. The other two were gone and clocked out of federal costs. 2 days ago. And the time clock itself got been taken for this. They've been put forward to 5 o'clock, a stamp, and then put back to regular time. That's the only, unless we have a some sort of clock that's, you know,
They kind of clock.
no. So I'm leaving it to y'all to decide what to do. Y'all heard what Michelle said.
well, the stuff from the company that you work for that you couldn't, you know, we could charge you with that if we really wanted to. Serious. Because some people just, hey, let's do that. You can't cut it no other way. And I don't see where, and now that it's out, because I mean, what do you think the citizens of Vernon are going to say?
I want to know what prudence
To say, so we have to do what we have to do. I know it's going to put us in a tight. We just have to try to buy squad. Buy super in a minute for the you cannot keep this. Just so do you think both of them had their hands on the time clock, or one person was doing?
I don't know. You know, I don't know. But it's, I mean, we've got 3 employees, and one of them's time cards and time sheets worked out, and the other 2 don't.
This one flee.
And nobody's supposed to clock in for one another.
Anyway.
Correct.
So both. Is that what you're saying?
Well, both are responsible for what's happened.
So what now?
Both are responsible for what's happened, although there's not a camera on the time clock. So we can't say for certain who did it. There's just evidence that it was done.
I will go ahead and tell y'all this too. The camera that is on the side of the building at the plant the day after the meeting that was having Public Works Director, that camera has been turned towards the road and taped that way. It's on this other building except for the road we walk down there during you have to stop at the corner.
All of this stuff. God, I mean, yes. I'm making a motion.
Us will the council. I agree.
You are a motion.
I want to know what y'all want to do about it. I want to send.
Well, that we need to work.
Look what and what you got is some
This is what I'm
let's still play.
When you do this, can you throw a motion there also to, let Candace go ahead and advertise? On separate line items.
And
I mean, than just advertise, we need immediate help. We need dominate.
you need to plan to have an emergency session called as soon as Candace is able to find someone who's willing to step in on temporary basis, because you've got to have a licensed operator.
Could you ask somebody from like surrounding city that they could come and checking stuff while we're in the?
We're already contracted to a jury with Jimmy, but Jimmy doesn't do the day-to-day or stuff that these guys do. And I don't know that Shipley was what are you call right? Because he's full-time with us.
Yeah.
I don't know that that's your solution for the days.
You have one person, one or two people in the city that has worked for the city previously that knows how it runs, that you might ask to do an emergency. But you know how we're wasting and doing all the things that we're doing right now to make it go. Somebody that knows how to do that's gonna have to be there.
It feels like we're being held hostage by our situation.
Nope.
But I think you just need to anticipate by the end of the week you may have an emergency meeting called to get someone.
Can we get someone and hire them temporarily like that, or do we have to advertise?
But yeah, y'all can hire temporary without an advertisement. You actually don't have to advertise any of your positions. You just typically do, but this is an emergency because you can't have that plant operational without someone licensed to work in the plant. Just
Well, Jason's not licensed, I know.
You don't have to be licensed to run the plant. You have to have an underground utilities license to do repairs and all that underground.
Not according to
Donna called me, Jimmy. Jimmy said he also sure you order off the license for real.
They just switched training. That's long as they're pretty sure it's supposed to be taking it 16. That was all. To leave him.
yeah, when he has to take anything. It's a class, not the tens.
that's a discussion that
You got that. Yeah.
it's discussion you can have with Jimmy, but then Jimmy also has to have discussion with his full-time employer about his under Chimple's rules that has to pick grade. Right.
I said maybe temporary you'll be umbrella under Dewey, but Dewey's got to discuss it with this all that too. But he's advised not. Yes, I agree. I definitely called the page out and maybe some Monday class. He had me a person that did work with regional out of Walton County, and I know that person that this was just a while back. He was telling me we needed help, you might would do it. But I don't know. I remember we used to have a license and that was defeated.
It's about us on there out there. I heard that. Other said that what he would make do it temporary. I don't know.
I don't know what this year license.
All right.
If we have a break, we have to have a licensed person there, which Jimmy always comes to our breaks anyway to make sure we're following in room. So.
Okay, so, what are we doing?
This is a dangerous situation anyway. It's very dangerous, I think, because something like that's going on. Did you cuss that person at our plant? You trust him? Dad, right?
All right. So you said that we need that if anything's done, if we have to have a motion to, what was she say? I got called up, didn't understand what you were saying after. If there's anything done tonight, any action taken, then we would have to be ready to.
Yeah, I'm just saying, keep your calendar open for the rest.
So we don't have to do anything.
We can call an emergency meeting at any time. Candace just needs to know you might have council members when it's penalty. Yeah, I had another meeting tomorrow night, and I'll be in Tallahassee Wednesday night. For him, Thursday night, sir. In the event that you have to have a meeting.
So I might just want to call it for Thursday, and
See if we can find somebody.
you always cancel it, but that way it can be advertised. We're going to go ahead and put it on the website.
Is that agreeable with everyone else?
I mean, I don't get to make decisions. I know you don't, but I'm just saying. From a reliability standpoint.
Yes, it might be up to thee.
No, I'm calling for somebody to. I'm calling for a motion to terminate Public Works Director Jason Robin and City Employee Logan. Sorry.
I'm good, babe.
And it's Matt Candace. Yes, because it's just initials on here. I should know.
We,
I'm asking for a motion to terminate Public Works Director Jason Roten and City Employee Logan Smith.
I make a motion that we terminate Asa with, what is he, this actress manager,
Public Works Director.
urban works director, and the employee, Logan Smith.
No, sir.
Any discussion?
I might see you wait till you got somebody. We may have somebody that we can.
But AT, go back to that comment. Come.
Up y'all.
All in favor? Huh? Motion carried. Number 3, generator repairs.
They place for slippery for the repairs for generator plant.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Motion carried. Number 4, do I have a motion to approve the tennis course, contingent on the final legal approval?
So the only thing I want to point out before y'all make a motion is that they got this broken down into the school board is going to be responsible for 4 of the courts, and you all will be responsible for 2 of the courts.
The 2 courts to be.
That's the one track.
That's the original courts. That's the one the city already owns. That's the one for the track. But they're demolish them and rebuild it.
And y'all will be responsible for all utilities for the entirety of the facility.
What years? Where did they own, right?
I know, it's what I think is legally acceptable, but I'm making sure that you all are aware of that before you. So I don't know that it's possible to be out utility costs. I don't know how much.
They call Becky's a light to be on that there all the time. People go out, really like it be on. You know, like a lot of to this court there on it's quite late.
I was said it that said
For the lights to go off.
You could put motion lights out there too. There's different ways you could do lighting. The same as it costs a lot.
Yeah.
well, it's like out there at the softball field, there's a switch, but it's not metal.
Otherwise, it's a standard hook ground lease. They're gonna pay you $1 every year for 99 models. Those tennis courts, pickleball courts, whatever they are, would be gone on for business.
I'm sorry, y'all. Did somebody make a motion? Somebody second?
Yeah.
Oh, did okay.
Cause she was from.
Okay. Do I have a motion to approve? Contingent on the final legal approval.
I'll make a motion work here contingent on the legal dirt.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Motion carried. If there's nothing further, can I have a motion to adjourn?
I do. It's up. But what about the keys now?
They're gonna happen. Candace,
I'll go in.
just call them, let them know to bring them here. Turn in the keys all the keys and put them in the drop box or bring them to your house.
You know, Ken, you'll send all as extensive an information package if possible for a job description. We can blast it out. You can hit a lot of people quickly, but I can't do it if you don't send any information.
I'll go work on it as soon as we're done.
Thank you.
Anybody else had anything?
Nothing.
Have a motion to adjourn?
I've been used to it. Also.
Justin, all in favor? Aye.
Yeah,